Okay, I'm going to build a deck box today, and I'm going to use at the center of it, I'll show you the pieces in a minute, but a plastic storage tub and then some leftover Trex and all I have. I measured the pieces of leftover Trex that I had, it left over from a deck project that I did, and what I'm now going to do is recycle those, repurpose those, and use them into different things. So I measured both a small box and a big deck box to see which one would work, and I think I can work the large deck box. Then I kind of drew a picture of what I think it's going to look like. You know, anytime you're working with wood, it always may change as you go, but I wanted to make sure I had enough wood, so I roughly calculated that I was going to have enough wood to cover the outside of it. And then I kind of created an initial cut list. I'm going to build the frame out of pressure treated. The deck box is going to sit down inside it, and then hopefully it'll be up and work. We'll kind of use it as a coffee table and also a deck box and a place to put the cushions in the winter and the off season. So let's get to work. Okay, this is the leftover Trex from the porch that we had put on the house. It's a chocolate brown Trex, but any type of composite wood would work. And I just washed it because it's been sitting in my shop getting covered with dust for a while. So now I'm going to go to work. Start by cutting your 4 long pieces. What I did was I measured the length of the tub I was going to put them around, plus added an extra 4 inches. That way I can put them on the inside, so I have those 4. Another helpful hint is never put your scrap wood, like I'm going to use that wood for something else, I just haven't cut it yet. Don't put it by the wood you're going to use. I tend to segregate them when I'm working, and that way I don't have eventually run into a problem of using something that I wanted to use for another piece. So I've cut my 4 long pieces. Now I'm going to cut the corner pieces, actually the end pieces. Now create 2 boxes out of your wood, top and bottom. Test fit them to make sure that your thing will fit. I'm standing them on their end so I can label the sides or put the sides on it. Now what I've decided is I'm going to use 2 of the bigger pieces just because the wood works out better. I'm going to use 2 bigger pieces, one there and one there of the center, and then go out with smaller pieces from there. Go ahead and mark where the center of your board is. I think that'll help you line up the middle. For me, that's what's going to work best. Okay, I put it on the one side, then stood it up on the end, clamps to hold the board in place, and clamps to keep it the right thickness apart, and then I will lay it down and work on the front side. I left an opening in the middle there because what I'm going to have to do is take one of the thicker pieces that's down there and rip a little bit off it with the table saw. So I went ahead and put the 2 outside edges on first. Okay, now I've got it dry fitted together. I still have to go trim out the ends. Now I'm going to work on the top. I want the container to sit in like that so I can store stuff in it and make it waterproof. What I'm going to do is cut 3 pieces of pressure treated 2x4 across just inside that opening so it sits down. The 2x4 will sit down inside the frame. Okay, I turned it over to do the top. I'm going to put temporary pieces. Those are pieces I'm going to put permanently, but I put just 3 screws in each right now to hold it in place, and that way I can flip it over. I'll drill down through the top. I want the top to be really well attached because the top will be the piece that comes off, so it'll be handled the most. So I want to make sure those are really, really well secured. The middle one is just a piece of normal pine. I was about 4 inches short on the outside ones, so I went ahead and just put a normal piece of pine in there. If it rots, the place I'm going to put it right now is undercover, so it should be okay, but if it rots I'll replace it with pressure treated. The other stuff should be fine. Okay, there it is in the dried in phase. I still need to trim the ends and put the pieces on the ends, but it's sitting like that. So far so good. We'll take a look at it when we're done. I'm going to go over to a buddy of mine's and use this table saw to rip the piece down on the end so it can fit in. Okay, here's the finished product. I think it turned out rather well.
It'll be used to put some of these cushions in as we go over the winter. No sense in the cushion sitting out all winter in the sun. We probably won't use this deck for probably 3 months, 4 months, something like that. It also makes a wonderful place to put her feet up. So it's coffee table, deck box. Inside it again is the, if you lift up the end, you get, there's the tub underneath it, and I can seal it and all that stuff. And there it goes. And you get to, now it's time to go sit back and enjoy. Hope this helped.